Alright, so I wanted to get my thoughts on this Gucci boycott. My whole thing about it is, it doesn't really make sense for y'all to do it now when you knew from the very beginning, when you first started spending these hundreds of thousands of dollars on it, you knew that it was a European-owned brand. And we know European-owned brands are bound to do something insensitive towards black people. So I wasn't outraged because I wasn't surprised. On top of all of this, the people you asking to boycott, we can't buy it on a continuous basis as if, you know, it's food and water. You know what I'm saying? We can't buy it like you can when you have, you know, the resources. We don't have the resources to just buy it like we want to. I'm gonna say like we want to, but buy it like you do, I should say. So the people you asking to boycott, it's like we wasn't really supporting them like that in the first place. Celebrities been supporting them more than anything. It's a high-end fashion thing. So I mean, like, if you gonna do it, be 100 with it. You telling us to boycott it for 3 months. After them 3 months over, then what? You gonna go back to buying it again? I mean, what type of message is that gonna put out there? You know, that we should only stand on something temporarily? Is that the kind of message you want to put out there? That don't really make a lot of sense to me. And I mean, people like, you know, T.I., 50 Cent, they want to boycott. They so outraged. They burning the stuff and everything. Like, that don't really make sense to me. It just doesn't. Because you always knew that was a European-owned brand. You got all these black businesses out here that could have been just as big if they had your support. And we do hold celebrities who want to be activists to a higher standard. That's why I'm talking about T.I. so much. Because now he's an activist, basically. We know he's an artist, he's also an activist. So we hold y'all to a higher standard if you want to get into that lane, you know. So don't just post these black-owned businesses if you really about that. Show how much you spending on them. Show the checks, the receipts, you know. Show the bank statement, something to show that you're supporting these black-owned businesses. And don't just go back to it after these 3 weeks or 3 months or whatever is up. Like, boycott them for good. That's one thing I can agree with Floyd on, even though I think he a clown, you know. One thing I can agree with that he said was, if you're gonna boycott it for good. Even though he not doing that, but boycott it for good. Like, let's stop supporting them, period. But you know, they got an image to uphold. Being in high-end fashion upholds their image. You know, they gonna go back to wearing it. You know, after all this blows over and everything, that's what they want to do. They got the money for it. They gonna continue to buy it. You know, but that's why I always say you can't really put your trust in a lot of celebrities. You know, in a sense, I do kind of trust T.I. I think he's a real authentic, you know, dude. I think he's a real activist and everything. But you know, that's one of the things was like, we'll see. You know what I mean? But as far as a lot of other celebrities who so happen to be outraged, I feel like a lot of them just gonna go right back to it. I don't feel like a lot of them gonna stand on their word for good. But what we need to do is stand on ours for good, because we got black-owned businesses in our neighborhoods. You know, not just fashion. You know, you got clothing, you got restaurants, you got other creatives. For musicians, you got producers that you need to support, these studios. You know, you got a lot of things, shoes. There's a lot of things you can support as far as black-owned business. A lot of artists that draw, paint. You know, support these people. You know, but we out here want to be outraged because we black people in America. It's like, why are we even surprised that Gucci did that? That's what gets me. I was never surprised when I saw it. I scrolled past it like it was just another post, because it didn't surprise me. I mean, I read into it, yeah, but it didn't really surprise me that much that they would do something like that. So if you're gonna go all the way in on something, you want to stand on this, you really want to boycott something, boycott it for good. Don't just tell us to boycott it temporarily, because a lot of us, we're gonna have money one day. We're gonna have the resources to probably buy it one day. You know, because a lot of us are in situations where, you know, we can barely buy the things we need. You know, so once they get to a certain level, they're gonna buy the things that they always wanted. You feel me? So I mean, if you're gonna support. Don't just half-ass it. Don't give us no bullshit outrage like y'all really outraged, because y'all know y'all going back to it. But let's support these black-owned businesses. You know, our neighbors. You know, our talented neighbors. let's support them. Let's support each other. Let's love each other. Look out for one another. Make sure y'all comment, rate, subscribe. Peace.